zooming. Head on my wrist like I do not know what permanent is. They want me gone. Wait for the kicker. Bury me now and I only get bigger. That's word of my nigga. Yeah. I told a firm in the cut. Stay at the top.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So welcome. This is my first video since the summer shredding competition, which was October 30th, and now it's currently December 4th, so it's been quite a while. I did record a video last week, but it wasn't that great, so I didn't want to put it out to YouTube yet. But pretty much want to get in the swing and habit of putting out content that's a little bit more kind of casual, just day-to-day lifestyle. I just found that a lot of people that follow my content tend to enjoy that type of content in general. So that's what I want to put out there, just a day in the life, whether I'm on prep, whether I'm off prep, things I like to do, the way I like to eat, things of that nature. So today I want to do a quick video on my typical rest day. So I know everyone's rest days are typically a little different. I know mine is different depending on if I'm prepping for a competition or not. So right now it's a little bit unique just because I'm in a reverse diet, which is pretty much I've been on a reverse diet since the day I got back from Houston, which is pretty much slowly increasing my overall calories while trying to minimize fat gain as much as possible. So I've been doing pretty good. Just to kind of quickly recap what happened after the show, that was Saturday night. Wanted to eat, just had a little fun with my friends afterwards. The next day I had some barbecue, did not track at all. So I was pretty much just enjoying everything I was eating. Flew back. I weighed myself that night. I think I went up to so on stage I was like 164, 165. When I weighed myself, I was, when I got back, I was like 174, 175. So I put on almost like 9 to 10 pounds, which is a lot of water weight, a lot of bloating, which is normal. A lot of people even experience more, so I'm kind of grateful for that. Later that week, I got into the swing of things as far as working with my new coach. And my weight, went back down to like 168. I remained there. Now I just did my weigh-in, did my check-ins with my coach. I'm currently at 173, so 8 pounds over stage weight, but it's been like a month and a half since the competition, so that's not bad. I mean, it is a little on the higher side, but I mean, that's kind of normal. So right now my macros are at around like 2,600 calories, which is crazy because the end of prep I was eating like barely 1,500, so it's a good amount, more than I can handle at times because I'm still getting used to it. Working out 5 days a week, which is a little different from what I've done in the past. I've always done 6 days a week, and usually my rest days are on Thursdays and Sundays. So today is Sunday, so I'm going to walk you guys through a typical Sunday, typical rest day for me. Things you can, and I'll drop tips here and there, whether you're on prep, whether you're off prep, or you're just a typical lifestyle person looking to get in shape and stay in shape. So things you can do during your rest days, and some myths and some secrets that might or might not be true regarding rest days. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because I just did my check-ins, did my pictures. So sorry for that if you didn't want to see all that. I'll do a quick physique update for you guys who want to see how my physique has changed since the last video, which was show day, which was a month and a half ago almost. But yeah, and then we'll get into what I typically eat for breakfast. So on the weekends, I usually make pancakes. So I usually make Kodiak cakes, which a lot of you might or might not have heard of, is protein pancakes. It's all right. I think I've been kind of thinking lately, I want to get most of my carbs from regular pancakes, and if I want the extra protein, throw in like egg whites and throw in protein powder just to make it taste a little bit better. But it's a great source. I mean, I've been having it for the past like 4 or 5 years, so I'll share how I usually make it, and you guys can try it out for yourself. I'll throw down the macros as well. And but yeah, let's get into the physique update, and then we'll get into the kitchen and start making those Kodiak cakes. But this is pretty much the physique update. I think what I might do is throw on a picture of my last video, one of my last videos I took right before getting onto the stage, or getting ready for the show. But yeah, still holding pretty decent. I'm still pretty lean in my opinion. Obviously it kind of sucks not, being as lean as I was during the show, but definitely I feel great. Damn, yeah, like you can kind of see when I'm not flexing. You can definitely start to see the fat, but yeah. So I was gonna go make breakfast, but one thing I wanted to get into is not to get too caught up on the scale. I've been seeing a lot of stuff regarding that on social media lately. So yeah, don't get too caught up on the scale. Don't get too caught up on the numbers. I mean, obviously, unless you're competing, but like I've been feeling great. My workouts have been feeling great. Obviously, I wish I was still the same amount of lean that I was during my show. I mean, obviously that's not very sustainable unless I want to live a life that I hate. So it's really finding that good balance. And I'll do more physique like regular physique updates, like when I'm in the gym and whatnot. Sorry for the shaky camera. But yeah, that's just just about to kind of put that out there. Just don't focus too much on just the scale. Focus on how you're feeling, how you're looking overall, because the scale only tells you so much, right? The way you're looking, the way you're feeling, the things you're actually doing out in the world, how you're utilizing the food and utilizing that in the gym. That's all stuff that really, really does matter. So that's what you should pay attention to. But without further ado, we'll get into breakfast and then go on with the rest of the day. And it's currently around 9:30 a.m. just to give you guys some transparency on how early I like to start my day on the weekends. So let's get into it. Alright, two staples I usually have every morning is my greens from Ghost. Probably the best tasting greens I've tried out. Really just helps with digestion, probiotics, and you don't really have to rely on a lot of pills. So I've been having this for like the past 2 years and it's amazing. It has like 7 carbs, but I do track it, but it tastes amazing. I got the iced tea lemonade, it's probably my favorite flavor. And then I started taking this during prep from EHP Labs OxyShred. I don't know how effective it is, but I just got used to it. So this is usually the first thing I have. I'll have a glass of this. I'll sip on it for an hour right when I wake up every single day. Do my little morning routine, come back right before breakfast. I'll have my greens, and then I'll have my breakfast. But yeah, just want to share that. But 2 really great products to have in your morning routine. So this has become one of my favorite staples too. So I usually do egg whites, but when I was out in Houston, I tried this out. I get it from Aldi. But I'm gonna have 4 servings of this, which ends up being 20 grams of protein, 0 fat, 0 carbs, very minimal. Well, I guess the sodium kind of adds up, but it's all good. It's a liquid egg substitute, so a little thicker than egg whites and actually tastes like real eggs. And I usually measure it out with my scale right there. But yeah, I'll usually have this on the side, and then I'll make my Kodiak cakes. I don't like to blend the two because it gets too liquidy. I like my pancakes being a little bit more thick, but yeah. Oh, and then I usually add like 0 calorie seasoning, which I've been getting from the Flavor Gods. So it's this right here. Highly recommend this. 0 calories, very low sodium. But yeah, I usually just mix this with my eggs. I usually have egg whites every single morning, but even the days that I make my Kodiak cakes on weekends, I'll mix my egg whites literally just with this, and then it'll taste amazing. That's how you know you're really good at tracking, or you're just crazy because you track every single day, because I got it right on spot at 184. Usually I go like 4 or 5 grams over, but we did it. But that's usually how it looks like before, and I'll show you how it looks like after. And I usually have that with like spinach and then like 0 calorie ketchup or barbecue sauce, whatever. So yeah, that's what it looks like after you mix it up. I usually just mix it with unsweetened almond milk, which is almost no calories at all. I don't track that. But 1 egg, 80 grams of Kodiak cakes, which is 1.5 servings. And I'll throw the macros at the end with everything. But that's pretty much what it looks like, so I'll let it sit. Usually takes like, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe longer. And I'll usually use 2 pans. So yeah. And then get the eggs right there. And then afterwards, this is usually the only 3 things I'll add. I'll spray like 1 serving of spray butter. I always get my maple syrup from Walden Farms. So 0 calories, and then a little bit of this at the end. It's very minimal. But I like to keep it pretty simple, but that's usually my staple. We got everything running over there. Alright, so the eggs are done, and like I mentioned before, I usually put like spring breaks / like spinach under, just to add more volume, and then I'll add like sugar-free ketchup. I literally have this spring mix almost every single day, and you can find like any brand of it. So it's usually like $3 or $4 for all of this. So I'll usually have this with every single meal with like my chicken breast and rice and tortillas, and with my breakfast, and it just adds a lot of volume for very minimal calories. It's just a lot of prep habits that kind of stuck after prep. But I like being full throughout the day, and it definitely helps. And it tastes pretty good, honestly. So you're not really having a salad, but you're getting all the benefits of a salad in a sense. So yeah. So I kind of messed up on the pancakes, but it's all good. It still came out good. But yeah, I'll put the macros up in the screen so you guys can see. But this is usually on the weekends, usually my typical breakfast, and sometimes even my pre-workout meal. I'll just combine the two. What's going on, guys? I know I've been pretty shitty about filming. I totally forgot that I was trying to vlog everything today, so you guys have a good overview of rest days. But pretty much threw in some clips of my typical rest day, active rest day on Sundays. So usually on Sundays I do the same thing pretty much, unless if I have anything big going on or if I'm out of town. But workout wise, I usually, so as of right now, my coach has me doing 24 minutes of cardio for 4 days a week. So either I'll split that up each day that I lift, which is 5 days a week, and then have like one cardio day, which is today. So today I knocked out 25 minutes of cardio. Just did some extra core and abs for like, I don't know, like 10 minutes. Or it's like a quick circuit that you guys saw earlier. And then if I do have time, I like to kind of shoot around. I want to start getting back into like playing basketball. I want to try different things like boxing, maybe even like F45, which is like cross-functional stuff, maybe once or twice a week. I don't know, just to switch up things. I mean, I love working out, I love weightlifting, but it does get pretty repetitive, and I do want to be diverse. And the best way to really see what your body reacts to the best is to try out everything. And then once you do figure out, obviously, you know, what does work best for you, sticking to that, improving that over time. So that's definitely something I try to do all the time. But that's the one thing I told myself I was going to do after prep. And it's only been like a month since then, but that's definitely going to be one of my goals this off season, is to try out different things, whether it be cross-functional things, different sports, get back into playing basketball, something huge I used to do just like in general for years since I was a kid, and it's really good cardio too. I don't like to count that as cardio though. I do my normal cardio, which is usually it's been incline walk at like 14.5 incline and like 3.4 speed. For me, that's pretty like a very low intensity cardio session. And then once I do that, then everything else that I do, I don't track at all. I just, you know, have fun, enjoy it. And then I want to kind of get into diet. So I did mention, I think earlier, how many calories I've been eating. So I'm around like that 2,500 to 2,600 mark. So it's been a good amount. I've been, I don't know, probably gaining around on average like a pound to a pound and a half a week, probably less in some weeks. But it's a good pace, I would say. Especially coming off of a show. So damn, this pimple is really pissing me off, by the way. But yeah, I think the diet's been pretty sustainable. Like during the week I pretty much eat the same exact thing. I'll probably do a day, I'll do 2 videos. I'll do one, maybe even based on today's video, like what I usually eat on a rest day, which is probably gonna be almost the same. But then like throughout the week I keep it pretty consistent. I eat almost the same type of breakfast every single day, almost the same type of dinner every single day, lunch, pre-workout meal. So I definitely want to show you guys what I usually eat, throw in the macros for that. And then also as I get deeper into my lean bulk, I'll show you guys, you know, how, you know, the different types of foods that I'm going to integrate. But overall, I enjoy everything I eat. Like I don't eat anything that I don't enjoy. So like if I post something on my story and someone, you know, thinks that, oh shit, you know, this is really boring food. I mean, maybe to you it's boring, but I make it very enjoyable. Even if I'm eating the same exact thing every day, and maybe it's the way I grew up. Like I grew up not being very picky with food. So as long as it fills me up and it's not complete shit and it's cooked well, I'm fine with it. Not to say that I don't season my food and stuff, because I do. So yeah, and then on the weekends, usually Fridays, Saturdays, maybe even Sundays, at the minimum I have like one, not cheat meal, but one meal out, whether it be at a new restaurant that I like. I like experiencing different foods. Like I guess I like to consider myself a foodie. Maybe I'm not at the level of many of you out there, but I like to, just have some sort of meal at least once a week. Usually on the weekends, maybe Fridays or Saturdays or Sundays. Maybe even 2 or 3 times a week. I know my family likes doing that on the weekends too, so it's a good time. Especially like if I'm hanging out with friends, it's a good. And I didn't get to do it during prep. Like it sucked when my friends were eating out or when my family was eating out, and I wasn't able to do so. So I guess kind of like enjoying and embracing the time that I do have now to actually eat and enjoy the foods. And not really worry about tracking. Like last night I had like a meal with 2 of my friends, and it was very high in carbs, it was very high in fat. Like I knew what it was. I did look it up just to kind of see, but at the end of the day I didn't like care. Like I'm trying to use food as fuel to have a just to use it as fuel for my body, right? Instead of having to worry about every single macro. I'll do that when prep comes around. Like that experience is very tough and brutal, like tracking every single thing that you're eating and worrying about like being off on one certain macro, throwing off your whole weight. Like it's very intense, so I don't want to worry about that until that time comes. Right now I want to enjoy all the food that I'm eating, those are things that I didn't get to do while I was on prep. So right now I'm about to go have a meal. I'll share with you guys what I'm about to have. I was looking through the menu. There's this new burger spot right next to my house that I've been wanting to try. So I'll show you guys what I usually like to eat. Well, I guess like it's just an example of the type of meal I would have when I'm eating out. Hopefully that helps out. And then later in this video, I'll do a short breakdown on rest days, how you should go about doing your rest days in particular, things that I in particular do, and hopefully those tips will help out. So alright guys, so it's currently 8:30, almost 9 o'clock at night. So since my last video, damn, I didn't show you guys what I ate. Actually no, I'm gonna throw in a clip of Instagram story I had, but had like a short, it wasn't even an actual meal. I thought it was gonna be bigger than what I thought it was, but it was a very small. So what it was a special type of burger where they used a bao bun. So it's like a different type of and I'll throw the macros and exactly how I calculated everything, but it was like a bao bun. It was ground beef, and then kimchi sauce and like very light sauce that they kind of made on their own, and I told them to go light on it. But this is kind of off topic, but when I do go out to eat, and I've probably mentioned this before, even on like Instagram stories and whatnot, I like to kind of, so I eyeball things in a sense. So that's why like when it comes to tracking, it's so valuable if you're doing it on a day-to-day basis, which I do for the most part during the week. So when I do go out to eat, or if I'm going to someone's house to eat and stuff like that, I'm not thrown off totally, and I'm able to guesstimate pretty well. So the way, for example, and I'll keep this short, when I'm going out to eat, right? So for example, for today, obviously this restaurant wasn't on MyFitnessPal. It's just a local mom and pop shop, for example. So the way that I did it was I just searched up like a generic bao one. They had it on MyFitnessPal. I entered it in. Macros are pretty good. And then I just kind of guesstimated. So I mean, I measure out like chicken, beef, and all that every single day. So I had a pretty good idea of, okay, one serving of how much meat that was in that burger, ended up being like 4 ounces of ground beef. Just in my head, it might be less or more than that, but at least I'm still somewhat on track. So yeah, that's what I did. And then I didn't even bother adding in the kimchi because macros were so low on it. And I like to always say go light on the sauce. I mean, if you're not worrying too much about what you're eating, then it's fine. But if you're trying to kind of stay low on fat, because usually sauces like that add up in fat, so that's why I told him to go a little low on fat. And I'll throw up a screenshot of the exact macros that I guesstimated for that specific meal, and I'll throw in a picture of exactly what I ate as well, so you guys have an idea of how I kind of went about doing that, so you're not just having to pay attention to my boring words. But yeah, that kind of wrapped up the day, doing some client check-ins right now. So I usually do that on the weekends as well. So I'll usually work on new client programs on Saturdays. So I assign them, all my clients, new workouts for the following week. And then Sundays, after they've checked in with their progress pictures and their weights, I kind of go through everything, see what kind of adjustments need to be made, give them feedback if they need it. If not, then they're good to go. but that's usually what I do as well. Again, this is just a typical Sunday where I don't really have any plans at all. Like I literally did nothing, but like this is like a generic ordinary Sunday. But I would still do this on any other Sunday, on any other rest day. But then if I have other plans, I'll kind of work around it. Timing would be a little different as well. But yeah, just to stay on the topic of rest days, right? So what's the importance of rest days? So whether you're a beginner or whether you're someone who's been lifting for a while or you're an athlete, I highly recommend having some sort of a concept of rest days, right? Whether it be once a week or twice a week. I would say at the minimum, try to have at least one rest day a week, which is usually what I have done for the past few years until now. This is the first time where I've had 2 rest days, which is a little different, but I'm getting used to it. And that's just what my coach recommended to me, so I'm following exactly what he tells me to do. But the reason why rest days are so important, right, is kind of like you don't want to overwork your body. You know, when you're working out, when you're lifting, whether you're doing CrossFit, weightlifting, or bodyweight exercises, your body's going through a lot of stress that is normally not supposed to, in a sense, right? Like working out, lifting, and playing sports, like it puts your body under a lot of pressure, and technically our bodies aren't built for that, but the thing is, the more we do it, the more accustomed our body becomes to it. But the thing is, you have to give your body time to rest and recover from all this activity that is going through, right? Whether it be weightlifting, whether it be going out for a run or doing calisthenics, whatever the case is, you need your it's very key to have at least one or some sort of concept of resting, efficient type of resting, again, for your body to recover. Again, if you're someone who's weightlifting especially, or even if you're looking to lose fat, like your body needs that time to recuperate from everything that you're putting it through for the 18-19 hours that you're awake for. That's probably not healthy being awake for that long, but you know, it happens. So things like sleep, things like nutrition, things like hydration are very important, and those I'll also add that into rest and recovery as well. Like those all play a part and play a factor in your rest and recovery. But I would say, you know, whether you're cutting or bulking or maintaining, I would say at the minimum try to have at least one rest day a week. So that means, you know, you're doing some sort of activity for 6 days a week. At the most, I mean, I don't think there's like the way I like to say it is, if you're doing some sort of physical activity, try to do it at the minimum like 3 days a week. I think that's a pretty sufficient and easy to maintain schedule as far as physical activity goes. So pretty much that would put you with 4 rest days a week, right? And that is kind of excessive, but I would say, you know, maybe every other day have a rest day for someone who's just starting out. But if you're a little bit more advanced, at the minimum, try to have at least one rest day a week. Don't be someone who's going into the gym 7 days a week, you know, mindlessly, because your body needs that time to recover. And if you want to improve and if you want to keep improving and avoid things like injury, avoid things like plateaus, whether it comes to your fat loss, muscle gain, or strength gain, you're gonna need that time to recover and rest, and it's very important. So one thing I would say is, if you're someone who's cutting, right, I've heard things here and there, and I'll have this like as a separate portion in the video, but if you're someone who is cutting, right, try to keep everything very consistent. Your nutrition, your macros, your water intake, keep everything consistent. The next day, if you weigh yourself every single day and you're cutting, you might notice your weight going up a little bit, but that's fine. That's from the water weight. That's from you having slightly less activity during that rest day, whether it's a full rest day or an active rest day, right? And I'll do this as well. So I have a definition of an active rest day and a regular rest day, which I'll call it. An active rest day is pretty much where you're not doing your normal activities, whether it be weightlifting, whether it be strength training, whatever the case is. And a complete full rest day is pretty much where you're not doing any type of physical activity, but just still on track with your nutrition, diet, sleep, water, all of that good stuff. So those are the two main differences. So usually I like to have some sort of active rest day, so I'll do some sort of light cardio, working on my core, working on mobility, stretching. So that's like an active rest day. So those aren't normal things that I would do every single day or focus on every single day, but I'm giving my time and my body, myself and my body time to do that on my active rest day. But if I were to have a complete rest day, which I usually do if I'm really busy or really on a time crunch, or if I'm traveling, that's where I'm completely not worrying about any sort of physical activity or weightlifting or training, whatever the case is, but I'm still on track with my nutrition, with my water
water intake, vitamins, all that good stuff. So those are the two main differences. The only thing, I mean, I would say it's gonna be pretty consistent, the way you kind of design your rest days, whether you're doing an active rest day or full rest day. There's no right or wrong. It's really it's how you want to design your week. So really just plan out your week. Like if you know you have a set of workouts to do throughout the week, then chop it up however it best works for you. That's what I do for myself. That's what I do for my clients. You have to figure out what works best for you. And then based on that, that's how you can figure out, okay, do I want to have an active rest day or do I want to have a complete rest day? Again, there's no right or wrong. It really depends. If you're going 100% and finish everything within, let's just say you're 5 days a week in the gym, then yeah, that's fine. If you have 2 or 3 days of a full rest day where you're not doing anything. But if you want to chop it up like I do and have some sort of physical activity every single day, then you can afford like an active rest day where you're still doing some sort of light cardio, working on mobility, stretching, things of that nature. And like for myself, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm supposed to be doing 4 days of 25 minutes of cardio a day. So instead of having 4 days where I'm doing that full 25, I like to chop it up within the 7 days a week. I just like having some sort of activity throughout the day. Again, there's no right or wrong. You're still gonna end up getting the same results, the same benefits. I've tried out both, so I'm saying from experience. But again, really figure out what works for you, what you enjoy. Everyone's body is different, so I can only recommend so much, but that's just from my experience what I found the best. So I know I've talked a lot. I'm gonna wrap this video. I really just want to do from a high level and in-depth video and talk on rest days and how to kind of go about doing the rest days if you aren't too familiar with the concept, and how you should go about doing it. Again, whether you're doing an active rest day or a full rest day, make sure you're still on track with your water intake, with your nutrition, macros, sleep. Those are all going to be very important whether you're resting or whether you're active during your workout days, right? So always pay attention to that. And yeah, as always, if you ever have any questions, reach out to me via Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever the case is. I'm pretty active on those. And I'll try to do more videos like this. I know I talk a lot, but you can only do so many videos on how to do a bench press or what the importance of drinking water is. So I want to just have some sort of casual videos where I can walk you through my day, walk you through my life, and still give you some sort of value and benefit. So hopefully this helped out. And again, thank you so much for the support that you guys always provide. And like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys soon.